Okay, I think we should start with the class. Okay, I guess most of the students have joined. Okay, so am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay. So,
रुक जाना अभी मेरे को पता है
so everyone, please be on mute. So in the last class, we discussed about the different kind of impacts that fashion industry is creating in terms of economy, in terms of cultural, in terms of environment. So all of this impacts, right, has been very very significant in the industry, and so briefly you understood that how the industry is operating and uski kya kya कौन हैं वो इंडस्ट्री में, कैसे कैसी चीज़ें प्रैक्टिसेस में हैं जो कि एनवायरनमेंट को हार्म कर रहा है, उसका एस्थेटिक्स और इन सब चीज़ों के लिए लोग अब कैसे उस चीज़ से अभी उभर रहे हैं, एंड नाउ पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड adopting slow fashion. So it talks about that, right? So एक brief introduction understanding आपका develop हो चुका है कि इंडस्ट्री का काम करने का तरीका क्या है, उसके इम्पैक्ट्स क्या हैं, और किस तरीके से ये डे टू डे वर्क फ्लो प्रोसेसेस को कैसे अफेक्ट करता है, कैसे हैम्पर करता है, एंड उस चीज़ में young designers and people like who are willing to become designers in their new future, how can they shape the dimension of the industry, and in what way can they take the responsibility of making the space, making the place a better one where people can work comfortably, where environment won't be impacted much. I know for everything we are making, so it has a impact, right? Anything that you do in your day to day life, it has some repercussions associated with it, but how far we are responsible enough to understand or to mitigate that risk or to overcome the repercussions, so that has to be well thought out and it has to be well laid out. So that's when we can make something which is really really worth it. We can make we can contribute something which is really essential in this world, which could be a game changing part in the fashion industry, which can actually revolutionize uh, the current working procedure of this industry. Okay, so that was the brief that was taught to you in the last class. Okay, so is everyone clear with whatever was taught in the last class and the day before class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So now coming to the next part of the curriculum, that is fashion cycle. Okay, so what is fashion cycle? So fashion cycle refers to the process with which fashion trends emerge, gain popularity, peak, and eventually decline over time. Okay, now fashion is something which is very very oscillatory in nature. Okay, which is very very oscillatory in nature, and am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
yes
ma'am.
ma'am
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's very very oscillatory in nature, just like you must have seen a pendulum. Have you ever seen a pendulum?
Yes, ma'am.
So how does the
Yes, ma'am.
pendulum oscillates? So the pendulum
Back and
oscillates, एक
forth.
बार आप स्ट्राइक करते हो तो वो इक्वल इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम पे वो जाता है, फिर घूम के वापस आ जाता है अपने सेम पोजीशन पे, एंड लाइकवाइज ये टू एंड फ्रो होता रहता है, ठीक है. सो दैट्स द प्रोसेस हाउ द फैशन साइकिल चेंजेस. साइकिल मतलब क्या? इट्स अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वेर इन अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इनटू द मार्केट, ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद वो प्रोडक्ट को कैसे लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, किस तरीके से उसका सैचुरेशन आता है, किस तरीके से फिर लोग उसको फिर और यूज करना बंद कर देते हैं, उसके बाद फिर कैसे प्रोडक्ट डाइवर्सिफाई होता है, राइट. सो वील बी स्टडिंग अबाउट हाउ अ प्रोडक्ट, ठीक है, हाउ अ प्रोडक्ट इज रिलीज इन टू द मार्केट एंड हाउ it gains importance, and how then it reach to the peak, and how it saturates where people are used to the product, and then how the product becomes obsolete. Okay, so for every trend that you see, every trend, okay, you would find that वो आता है, कुछ दिनों के बाद फैशन में रहता है, बहुत लोगों को आप देखोगे कि वो वही ड्रेस वही स्टाइल को अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, एंड कुछ दिनों के बाद वो क्या होता है, वो जो फैशन वो जो ट्रेंड है वो फिर हट जाता है, वो ट्रेंड में और नहीं रहता है, ठीक है. सो दैट इज द वे, दैट इज द प्रोसेस, ओके, हाउ फैशन इंडस्ट्री ऑपरेट्स ऑल्सो, राइट. इसीलिए नाउ मैंने पहले भी बोला था आप लोगों को कि ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी ऐसा है कि दे कैन नॉट stick to one particular thing, right. They want something new every time, they want something new in terms of garments, in terms of shoes, in terms of accessories, right. So people like the way something to adopt to something new every time, they love experimenting with themselves. So likewise the industry people, the marketeers, the retailers have understood this practice of how a human brain operates and how consumer operates, right. They understand the consumer buying behavior, right, how a consumer is attracted to a product and how he purchases it, why he purchases it, right. And then will he be willing to accept or adopt to something which is very very new, or is it something which is basic, okay. So everyone has their own individual perspectives of adopting something new, right. There are a lot of people I have seen who are very very classic, right. Who are classic, the classic people are someone who does not love to experiment with something, but those styles are such that every time you see, you feel that it is a style statement in its own, right. Just like a pair of denim, वो कभी भी you cannot say it is out of fashion. It is something which is always in trend, always. You cannot really say कि this is out of, the styles could be different, definitely the styles could be different, but it is something, it has become a staple now, right. So when it becomes a staple, it becomes a classic, right. So fashion cycle helps you to understand what kind of products you are dealing with and what kind of product acceptance would be there in the mass, how the product will get acceptance in the market, right. And who will be accepting it now. In the previous classes I told you about the target consumers, right. Everyone remembers who are target consumers.
Yes, ma'am.
So, could you please tell me, Sharmishta, that what do you understand by target consumers?
A particular someone you are preparing your product for, the product you are designing, your design, or how you want to market your particular product. You
Perfect.
have someone in your mind when you
Yes,
are making a product.
yes, absolutely. So, the target consumers are the one for whom we are making a product, right? Where the product will get sold, right? where we target the consumer segment in such a way that we know that this product will sell in these with these kind of people, right? Because everyone has their own individual taste, and it is very difficult to map out someone who is very old, what kind of taste they will have, and what kind of taste a new Gen Z fellow will have, right? So marketers have understood the demographics, the psychographics of the individual customers or the target segment or a group of people of that particular age. How are they, behaving? What is their consuming pattern? How are they adopting the new fashion, right? How are they, planning to bring something new, or what could be the possible next taste? So according to that, we do the trend forecasting. Okay, so we forecast something. So coming to trend forecasting, what do you understand by trend forecasting? It's something that we forecast the trend, राइट, कि नेक्स्ट क्या आने वाला है, राइट? नेक्स्ट हम कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं क्या आने वाला है? थ्रू आवर पास्ट सेल्स डेटा, राइट? एंड थ्रू आवर continuous research about how people are consuming, what is the consumption pattern, okay, how people are relating to the product, and how they behave in social media, how they behave in cultural events. So it helps you to understand, now in this generation you will find everyone has a possession now, that if they are looking good, they will post a photo in the social media, right? If anything that you're wearing which is good and you feel very confident, or anything, right, you feel like posting on social media. Now you have lot of terms as get ready with me, GWRM, when you're styling something. So these are the things which actually have digged interest in the consumer mind, that okay, this can be paired with this. There are a lot of influencers, social media influencers, fashion influencers, who are taking the social media into a storm, right? And how are they operating with that? जैसे कि आता है कि you will find lot of fashion influencers, Natasha Patel, right? N number of influencers, fashion influencers, Amrita Thakur. So these are big time, they are fashion designers. At the same time, they are fashion influencers. Now, what they do is, they take garments from different brands. It's a sponsored thing, right? They take garments from different brands and they wear it and they style it. They pair it up with a pair of shoes, a handbag, earrings, jewelry, accessories, right? With that dress, and they create a style look, right? They create a look for themselves, and that look becomes viral, right? And that's how you get to know, it shows in your feed and you get to know, oh, this is something really cool, right? And then you accept the styling, right? You accept the way the woman has dressed, right? So it actually helps you to build something on yourself, right? It helps you to understand the fashion, what could be the style lines, what could be the style statement elements, what is called a heritage piece, what is called a statement piece. You get to understand all of these things, right? Now trend forecasting में क्या होता है कि whenever, right, whenever a designer or a retail house or any brand, okay, when they are going to launch a collection, okay, whenever they launch a collection, first and foremost thing that they do is they they actually start with trend forecasting, okay? Now there are brands, there's a dedicated brand which only and only, it's an international brand which only does the trend forecasting for the brands, and everyone follows it, right? The brand name is Promostel, right? WGSN, Trend Stop. Now these are the companies who actually spot the trends from different sources, right? So the trend forecasters gather information from diverse sources. Just like, for example, now you would see something which is really really popular, right? Something which is trending. Okay, if I could just maybe show you WGSN trend forecast 2024. Okay, just a second, I'll present something else. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you see this is the website, right? Which is dedicated to fashion trends, right? This is something which is there, which is the forecast. Okay, so in 2000, this is the color of 2023 digital lavender. So this color has been there, right, for the entire year, right? On the spring summer 23 catwalks, it has made up to 61% of purple shades, which is why it is considered as one of the color which is named as the color of the year. So every year a color gets the title of color of the year, right, according to the year that they are working with. Now people have now in the tech world, now people have to release their stress, they're more into gaming, right? So this is the forecast for how people are into gaming, mindful gaming. How many times have you used gaming to escape your stress of reality? For 2023 top trends, we have highlighted how gaming would become a way for people to feel better, राइट? सो वैसे ही हर एक चीज में ये फोरकास्ट करता है, राइट? नाउ यू कुड सी बायोडिग्रेडेबल डेनिम, देयर इज समथिंग व्हिच show talks about the different kind of denims which is biodegradable. They must have developed, they must have developed some kind of elements which is into biodegradable, which can be which is biodegradable, right? So that's the thing, right? So you have all kind of fashion reports, right? You see product forecast and reports, what are the possible forecast and reports. Now they will clearly show you what is there, what is not there. So every you get to know what are there, what is there, what could be the possible new fashion statements, style statements. So those are also there. So these are some websites which actually tells you about um, about what could be the new next which will be coming, right? You see, is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. It gives you idea on different kind of textile prints for women's, children's, and sports, right? It talks about different kinds of prints, right? Different kinds of textile sourcing, what kind of fabrics would be there for the next year, okay? And what could be the what could be the annual prints, right, which will be coming in the long run, okay? What are the different kinds of colors that would be possibly coming, right? What is the what are the different kind of fashion that would possibly be there for women, right? Just a second. So this websites actually guides you that what could be the new next gen trend which will be coming up, right? So this is something which is really really essential and really really helpful for students who are, working with different kind of fashion, and who are wanting to create something which is out of the box. It helps you to give that, develop that insight in yourself, right? कि हाँ क्या आ सकता है. Now these are the global forecasting companies who actually, collect, make our lives easy, because they collect information through various sources, and they do it through proper analyzing the data, the records, the sales data, the acceptance rate, and everything. So they decide on everything. They there are a group of people who work dedicatedly based on this, and then they find solutions to it, right? So, trend forecasting involves the analysis of cultural, social, economical, and technological factors to predict, the future fashion trends. कि next क्या हो सकता है, next क्या आने वाला है, what could be the next possible fashion trends which will be upcoming in the next year. So now, I like to tell you that, fashion operates, 1 year before, 1 year before it works 1 year ahead of time, right? Now if this is 2024, now the entire world would have designed collections for 2025, right? So they always work a year ahead of time. Why? Because the reason is, if they do not forecast, or if they do not follow, understand ki what could be the upcoming trends that would be possibly there in the next season, so they would miss out on consumers, right? Why would they miss out on consumers when you are working on something which is existing, and there is nothing something new? So fashion gears up, right? They take Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was saying. So what happens is कि जब कंपनीज पहले से सोच के ये सब बनाना स्टार्ट नहीं करेगा, तो फिर 2025 में प्रोडक्ट बन के आपके स्टोर्स में पहुंचने के लिए, इट्स अ वेरी पेन्स टेकिंग प्रोसेस, इट्स अ वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग प्रोसेस, राइट? So what happens is they predict a year ahead. They predict the design which will be coming in the upcoming year, and they design everything. They go for the production and manufacturing of the garments, and they send it to the different stores, right? By now, the products must have reached, to different stores for the next 2025 spring summer collection. So they always work a year ahead of time, right?
Has there been a time where the forecasting has been gone wrong?
there have been a lot of times where people actually do not appreciate the forecasting concept. There have been, like if I talk about classic fashion, right? Someone who has always has developed a taste with something which is very very classic, right? They do not entertain something which is very short lived, right? ये जो है एक साल के लिए प्रेडिक्ट होता है एंड उसके बाद फिर ये ट्रेंड चला जाता है. दे डू नॉट एंटरटेन सच गारमेंट्स और डिजाइन और फैशन जो कि एक शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के लिए आता है, राइट? नाउ दैट इन इंडिया वी वेयर क्लोथ्स फॉर अ प्रोलॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, राइट? बट but the high end fashionistas, or the one who is always high in fashion, so what they do not feel like repeating styles. They always want something new, which leads to lot of waste generation. And क्या होता है कि ये जो waste भी, मैं जो कल बोल रही थी कि आपको कि in every second tons and tons of garments are getting dumped in the landfill. So ये इसी के वजह से भी होता है कि क्योंकि फोरकास्ट कभी कभी क्या होता है कि ये गलत, जब लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, राइट, वो स्टाइल को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, तो उससे सेल नहीं होता. ठीक है, डिस्काउंट्स में भी देने पे सेल नहीं होता. जब सेल नहीं होता, इसको रख के क्या करेंगे ये लोग, कितना रखेंगे? सो व्हाट दे डू इज दे डंप इट, राइट? सो ये होता है लॉर्ड ऑफ टाइम की कभी कभी ट्रेंड फोरकास्टिंग भी गलत हो सकता है. बट majority of the brands, what they do to avoid wastage, what they do is, जैसे कि for example there is a brand Zara, okay, right? It is a brand which comes under the Inditex group, okay. Now
Which
they
group?
are into fast fashion, तो हर 15
Which group?
Inditex.
What is it now?
Inditex. It's a conglomerate, right? It's a fashion apparel group. Okay,
Okay.
it's just like a big MNC. Okay,
Okay.
and yeah. So जिसके अंडर में H&M and sorry, Zara falls into it, right?
Ma'am, tell you something. Inditex is it's a brand. It's a company basically. In Inditex, there have 8 brands like Zara, Zara Home,
Yeah,
Make.
that's what I'm saying. No, it's a conglomerate wherein they have Zara. They have brands like there are n number of brands actually, Amit. If you could just name them, you have worked with Zara, so you might know better. If you could just tell us what are the different kind of brands that Inditex has.
Yeah, right. Total there is 8 brands right now. Like Zara Home, there will be getting like home furnitures and others home decorations, and then Pull and Bear, and one in India there is two band. One is Zara and one more is Massimo Dutti.
Uh,
Massimo India we have only two stores, both of them in Mumbai.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's a brand under Inditex. Now Inditex is a conglomerate, right? And they have 7 to 8 brands. Like Pull and Bear is also there, right? Boksha. So and this Zara Home, like you said, and Massimo Dutti. So these are the brands who are into, majorly Zara is majorly into fast fashion, something that is trending tremendously. Okay, so what they do is in every 15 days you will find new stocks in the store. You will never find something which has been there for a month in Zara store. It has always been like कि वो हर 15 दिन में अपना stock replenish करता है, right? एंड द सप्लाई चेन इज सो रोबस्ट दैट कि वो 15 दिन में प्रोडक्शन करवा के फिर वो स्टोर्स में भी नया कलेक्शन लॉन्च करते हैं. सो दे आर वेरी fast in terms of reproducing copies from the high end runway shows, right? Yes, Amit.
Yeah, even in Zara weekly, 2 time we receive the new stock almost. If the total in the shop floor mostly 1,000 plus style is available. When the weekly basis, 2 time we receive 90 to 100 again the new style in the weekly basis. 2 time we used to receive.
That's what. Yes, so that is the thing, right? That is the thing. So when you have every, every 15 days, when you have new stocks in your store, what will you do with the back stocks? What will we do with so much of inventory? So that's when it doesn't get sold and gets piled up over a period of time, so it becomes a lot of apparels, right? A lot of inventory. So either they and it has always been a practice that it gets dumped into the landfills. So at times also forecasting goes wrong. And I would like to mention, like, for like I started with Zara, like I would like to mention that there have been uh, you know कंपनीज जो कि क्या करते हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल my ex company, if I talk about lifestyle, so what they do is, for so they understand the trend forecast, they understand the forecast report, and then we used to customize design as per the Indian taste and preferences. Okay, it was a Dubai based company, but the company always, what it did was, it always, channelized the design in such a way that we customized as per the Indian, taste preferences, whatever they would appreciate. So it has always been around that, which is why the turnover is also very high, right? Because हम इंडियन टेस्ट कंज्यूमर, उनका उनका जो कलर सेंस है, उनका जो फोरकास्ट सेंस है, हम वो समझ के उसके बाद वो डिजाइन करते हैं, which is why the acceptance becomes more towards a product. Now for example, if I give you, let's say, लाइफस्टाइल ने दो प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किए, राइट? दो प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किए जिसका कि सपोज फ्लोरल्स है, द नेक्स्ट फोरकास्ट इज फ्लोरल्स, तो फ्लोरल्स बेस्ड पे उन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने दो डिजाइन्स बनाए, जहां पे कि one design has a very deep plunge neckline, okay, and it's a top which has a deep plunge neckline, and there's one more top which is very cute and which has ditzy embroidery on the top, floral embroidery, but very small and minimal embroidery on the top. Now if I tell you that ki, you have to, you have to allocate these two tops, to different locations, so what could be the possible locations that you would probably prefer to send them, or to allocate the resources to that store? Where would you send it? Answer me. बोलो शर्मिष्ठा.
Ma'am, I was going for the floral one to be sent to India because we resonate more with the prints.
Both are floral.
Both are floral. Okay.
Huh.
But the deep plunge neckline is not welcomed here. That or that.
Yes, yes. So if in India अगर तुम्हें कहीं पे भेजना है तो तुम कहाँ कहाँ भेजोगी?
If I would decide for the deep neckline, then I would send it to Delhi, Bombay, or another metro cities because people are welcoming that kind of fashion in those metro cities. And if I want to talk about other cities who are not welcoming that kind of fashion, then I would send the other one to those cities, like who are
Correct.
more semi-urban or rural areas.
Yes, yes, exactly. So, so the design, so it is clearly understood that कि जहाँ पे जिस तरीके का acceptance होगा, उसी Parvati, if you could just mute yourself, or do you want to answer?
Yeah,
Parvati?
I was, yes, yes, I was actually going to add the point that, even in like in the southern states also are much much welcoming the deep lake night these days.
They're
Not just
welcoming.
the metros, but yeah, but everyone. I mean, I can actually see people going around the streets in wearing
Yeah, that's
such,
fine. But the acceptance rate to that of Delhi and
yeah,
comparing to the states, southern states, would be different, right? So the acceptance rate
yeah,
of in Delhi would be much more higher than compared to the southern states, right? Do you agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
when we understand the dynamics of how the industry is functioning, okay, where is the acceptance more, so we will allocate our resources accordingly so that we do not block the material or do not block the merchandise
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
sake of selling it in a wrong place. So we will
Okay.
allocate the resources in such a way, in such a meticulous way, so that it reaches the person who would be actually interested in this product and buy this product.
Okay. Okay.
Understood. So that's the thing. Okay. So Amit, you want to say something? You have raised your hand.
No, ma'am. It's like this only. According to the style and like geographical people, what kind of cultures and
Yes.
particular city, according to their behavior, how to they where we analyze
Hmm.
that and to send in that particular area.
Exactly. Demography play a very, very important and vital role in shaping cultural identities. Now, how we have been brought up, what our culture is, what are our traditional aspects of that particular area or geography is very, very important that we have to pay attention to, right? And if we do not pay attention to those important aspects, that they could be very small thing, but it has a very important role to play. When we pay attention to these details, we actually end up having a very good customer base. तो हमें पता होता है कि हमारे यहाँ के कस्टमर्स ऐसे हैं, वो इस तरीके के कपड़े पहनते हैं, एंड देन वी सेंड सच काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, then it becomes one of our favorite shopping destination, because we know कि that brand will cater to as per our need and taste, not something which is very, very random in nature, right? So that's how it plays a very, very crucial and important role in shaping the culture, shaping the identity, shaping that space, okay, and getting a name, developing a name, or developing or building brand loyalty towards that brand. So it actually helps, right? Okay. So now coming to design, based on the trend forecast and market research, fashion designers conceptualize and develop their collections, translating trend insights into creative design and innovative products. Designers draw inspiration from various sources, including art, architecture, nature, and cultural influences, to create unique and distinctive fashion pieces that reflect current trends and consumer preferences. Now आई टोल्ड यू राइट कि हम लोग कुछ भी डिजाइन करने से पहले हम एक इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं, राइट? वी टेक एन इंस्पिरेशन और समथिंग, राइट? And what we do is we parallelly also understand what is trending, what are the new upcoming trends which would be there, right? So when we understand these two aspects of taking an inspiration and parallelly amalgamating or mixing that with the which is trending or which would be upcoming, right? So what we develop something which is very, very new and organic in nature, right? So हम मान लो हम सी का इंस्पिरेशन ले रहे हैं. For example, if I take C as an inspiration, and I would find I would find something in the trend forecast, trend reports बहुत सारा होता है, right? I'll share with you guys what are the different kind of trend reports we do have, right? So different kind of trend reports में क्या होता है कि you will see हर एक different different stories होते हैं, 10-12 stories होते हैं, right? तो वो stories में से you have to see कि आपका inspiration किसके साथ सबसे best बैठ रहा है. You have to understand that. एंड उसके बाद फिर वो जो फोरकास्ट है उसमें स्टाइल, डिजाइन, पैटर्न्स सब कुछ होता है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू डेवलप योर ओन क्रिएटिव माइंड, यू ब्रेनस्टॉर्म एवरीथिंग, एंड देन यू पुट एवरीथिंग इनटू अ फ्रेम. फिर उसके बाद यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग सेंस, फिर उसके बाद डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्टेप्स आर देयर हाउ यू डेवलप अ कलेक्शन इवेंचुअली, एंड वी विल बी स्टडिंग अबाउट दैट अ लिटिल बिट लेटर, राइट? सो डिजाइन में क्या होता है, पहले ट्रेंड फोरकास्टिंग करना और समझना बहुत जरूरी होता है, एंड उसके बाद आपका मार्केट कहाँ कहाँ है, आप कहाँ ऑपरेट कर रहे हो, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द मार्केट. मार्केट रिसर्च के बाद यू नो द पीपल कंज्यूमर टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंसेस एंड देन यू कंसेप्चुलाइज योर डिजाइंस, राइट. यू ट्रेंड फोकस भी लेते हो, इंस्पिरेशन भी लेते हो, एंड देन यू इवेंचुअली conceptualize your designs and develop your collections, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the next slide. Then once your designs are finalized, okay, once your designs are finalized, then the production process starts involving sourcing of materials, pattern making, sample making, garment manufacturing. So then this further steps comes into play. Okay. So production timeline कभी कभी 4 महीने भी लगते हैं, कभी कभी 3 महीने भी लगता है, कभी कभी 6 महीना भी लगता है, depending on the complexity of the designs and the supply chain system, right, the logistics aspects, right. It is very very important to understand that कि हमारा सप्लाई चेन कैसा है. जैसे कि अभी मैं आपको जारा का बता रही थी, अमित ऑल्सो सेड कि हर 15 दिन में स्टॉक आके पहुंच जाता है. तो हर 15 दिन में स्टॉक आके पहुंच जाता है मतलब उनका प्रोडक्शन टाइम भी बहुत कम होगा, राइट. प्रोडक्शन टाइम भी 1 महीने के अंदर प्रोडक्शन करवा के पूरे वर्ल्ड वाइड में उसको भेजना, उसको उसको फिर स्टॉक रिप्लेनिश कराना, मतलब थ्रू आउट द ईयर प्रोडक्शन बनता रहता है ताकि वो नया 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 स्टॉक हर जगह वो दे पाए, राइट. सो प्रोडक्शन जो है वो डिपेंड करता है कि आपका ब्रांड कैसा है. what is your brand like? Is it into fast fashion brand? Is it something which is very very into which is into slow fashion? Is your brand is like something which is very very seasonal? So what your brand is like, right? You have to understand that. And when you understand the brand ethos, that how the brand operates, what is their standard operating procedure, then you can understand कि okay इसका प्रोडक्शन कैसे होता है, इसका ऑपरेशन कैसे होता है, इसका सप्लाई चेन कैसा है. So it is very very important. When you understand the brand, you understand about all of these aspects, and when you understand about all of these aspects, you understand कि you cannot make something. For example, Zara का प्रोडक्शन हर 15 दिन में पहुंचेगा, आपको 15 दिन के अंदर डिजाइन बना के प्रोडक्शन करवा के निकलवाना है. तो आपके पास ज्यादा टाइम नहीं होगा टू मेक डिजाइन विच इज रियली कॉम्प्लेक्स, राइट. यू विल हैव लिमिटेशंस कि आपके पास टाइम कॉन्स्टेंट होगा, राइट. यू हैव टू मेक समथिंग विच इज इजी बट विच इज वेरी वेरी फैशनेबल, विच लुक्स वेरी वेरी ट्रेंडी, ठीक है, और जल्दी जल्दी हो जाए, राइट. जल्दी जल्दी बन के प्रोडक्शन हो जाए, राइट. यू हैव टू मेक समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट. So that is the thing, you have to understand that why these things comes into play, right. So once the designs are finalized, the production process begins. ठीक है, हम मटेरियल कहाँ से लाएंगे, मटेरियल कैसा होना चाहिए. एक बार आपका डिजाइन फाइनल हो गया मतलब आप फैब्रिक भी सिलेक्ट अपने दिमाग में रखे होगे कि मुझे ऐसा फैब्रिक चाहिए ताकि उसका लुक ऐसा आए, ठीक है. उसका पैटर्न बनता है, फिर सैंपल बनता है, फिर उसके बाद उसका वो प्रोडक्ट वो प्रोटोटाइप सैंपल का फिर उसका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होता है. उसके बाद फिर वो धीरे धीरे मार्केट में जाता है एंड उसके बाद फिर रिटेल द ब्रांड्स टेक इट इनटू द शॉप फ्लोर. ओके, marketing and promotion, retail and consumption. Okay, give me 2 minutes guys, I'll just be back. I'll just have water and I'll just be back. Okay, 2 minutes. By then you can revise up till production, about the fashion cycle, how fashion forecasting plays an important role and how it has been through. Okay, give me just 2 minutes, I'll be back. Yeah. Okay, guys. So now coming to marketing and promotion. So fashion brands use various marketing strategies to promote their collections, to engage with consumers, including advertising, public relations, social media, influencer partnerships, and experiential marketing events. Marketing campaigns aim to create buzz around the new collections, generate excitement among consumers, and drive demand for fashion products through storytelling, brand imagery, and aspirational messaging. Now, इसका ये मतलब है कि आप जब एक नया कलेक्शन लॉन्च कर रहे हो, you want people to notice it, right? So when you are seeking for attention, when you are willing that people should appreciate the product or the collections that you are going to launch, which is upcoming or which is trending, right? So for that you have to communicate with people, right? Now the communication is not necessary to have it in a person to person mode, but it could be like, you know एक ब्रांडिंग कैंपेन आपने किया, फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल ठंडा, कोका कोला का जो ब्रांडिंग है, वो कैसे वो करता है कि ठंडा मतलब कोका कोला, इट्स अ वेरी वेरी क्वर्की टर्म, ओके, यू रिमेंबर इट एंड देन इट वर्कड, राइट? तो जैसे मैगी, फॉर एग्जांपल 2 मिनट वाली मैगी, right? Even though it doesn't take 2 minutes, it takes more, but the branding has been such that you remember Maggie, you cannot forget it, right? For example, brands भी जब अपना collection launch करते हैं, you must have seen कि brands अपना विजुअल मर्चेंडाइजिंग के लिए अपना विंडो डिस्प्ले करते हैं. आप जब कभी कोई मॉल में गए होगे, यू मस्ट हैव सीन, जब कोई नया कलेक्शन लॉन्च हुआ होता है, स्टोर घुसने से पहले इधर इन द लेफ्ट साइड, ऑन द राइट साइड, और कहीं पे, लेकिन there must be a dedicated window where you have mannequins who are dressed with the new collections, right? Why do they do that? They do it to grab your attention, and those are the new stocks, okay, those are the new collections. उसके साथ वो उसको स्टाइलिंग करके, उसको प्रॉपरली एक्सेसराइज करके, उसको सेंटर फोकल पॉइंट पे रखते हैं, उसको मेन विंडो में रखते हैं. व्हाई डू वी कॉल इट एज विंडो शॉपिंग? यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड ऑफ दैट टर्म, विंडो शॉपिंग. हैव यू गाइस?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
do you understand by window shopping?
That you're looking for something, but you have not decided on if you're going to purchase that particular product or not yet.
Yes, but why is it so? In why that concept got originated because of the marketing aspect of promoting the product. So what happens is, in a mall, you have a dedicated corner where you have mannequins or something which is displayed, right? And they always put up the fresh collections in that corner, right? And because they put it up in such a way that it always grabs your attention, even though you're unsure of buying something, but it grabs your attention, and which is why it is called window shopping. Who knows that if you might like that product, and you might you might become a prospective customer, and you might end up buying the product, right? So which is why it is a, you can say it is a promotional strategy that they do in the stores, right? You will always see the sales person will always push you for the fresh stock, right? Why is it like that? It's because of the fact that once the product has to has to be uh, it has to get encashed. The product has to get encashed, राइट? द प्रोडक्ट बन गया, आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट था उसके ऊपर, और उसका रिटर्न क्या आ रहा है. सो इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट इज द आरओआई ऑफ दैट प्रोडक्ट, राइट? What is the ROI of that product? Is the product getting sold properly, or what is the acceptance rate? So it is around that. Now I'll show you some of the. Yes, Amit.
Yeah, ma'am. Even the window, basically, it's the customer seek the customer attention, as well as the window also reflect the store image and the brand image also as well as.
Yeah, the brand imagery, like, how the brand is, how the brand, what are the collections of the brand, what are the upcoming thing that the brand has. So it has got a lot to do with the, branding aspect of it, right? So I'll show you some of the images, fashion marketing campaigns. Okay, now you must have also heard of, collaboration. Okay, what they do is they collaborate with some personalities, like TV personalities, some actors, actresses, right, to promote their brand, right? There are also collaboration with designer houses and with the brand, like Adidas, for example, once collaborated with Gucci, right? So what could be the possible kind of collections, um, because Gucci is itself a established brand, right? And how Adidas incorporated the style lines of Gucci, and how it just a second. Okay, how it collaborated and how it showcased the collection. So it is something worth, watching. So I'll just show you. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this, okay, the special edition is no longer available. I'll just show you collections. Now this is how they collaborated. So they incorporated some elements of Gucci, right, along with the logo of Adidas, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
You could see that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a staple print of Gucci. This is a very staple print, trademark, you can say. It's a trademark print of Gucci, right? And you see how they have incorporated. This is a reversible jacket, okay, wherein in the front side you have Gucci thing with the logo of Adidas, and when you reverse the jacket, you have Adidas logo along with Gucci. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? That's the thing. So it works with collaboration also, right? I'll show you some Michael Jordan Nike. You see this shoes, which is called Air Jordan, because Nike is otherwise known as, you know, you see this pair of shoes.
Yes, ma'am.
This
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
was made specially for Michael Jordan, right? And this got very, very famous and popular, and it collaborated, the brand collaborated with a famous personality, and it created a lot of buzz in the market, right? So that's how it is known as Air Jordan. This is the brand posters, because he has been a pioneer in the field of sports, right? And because Nike in itself, it's a sportswear brand, So what it does, that it collaborates with such personalities, so that the brand is not moving against the brand ethos and aesthetics, but keeping that intact, it is creating a buzz in the market, right? So that's how it promoted that particular collection, right? Yes, Amit, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Even in Zara also we have the kids section as well as the kids section. Like kids are mostly like the cartoon character like Mickey Mouse and the Peanuts and so many cartoon Star Wars. So for the business strategy, we have the perfume collection as well as the so many t-shirts collection. Those are licensed product. We used to call as a license. So
Hmm.
the
Yes, yeah, they partner with bands. They partner with bands. They partner with this characters, because these are some iconic characters, no. So which is why they also take the trademark copy to, अगर किसी पे अगर आप print बना, जैसे गारफील्ड हो गया, like you're saying, Disney characters and all, तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, they what they do is they pay money for it to get the trade, to for trading, and then they eventually promote the product accordingly. Am I right?
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing, that's how they promote, that's how they work. So I'll go back again to the presentation. Okay, now you understood marketing and promotion, how do they do. You must have seen कि कुछ कुछ influencers जो है वो collaborate भी करते हैं, वो free samples brand भेजता है ताकि वो पहन के वो जाएं, और वो आजकल Instagram में देखना वो tag भी करते हैं वो brand को, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So they do it so that the product from there and gets sold, right? वो आप कोई influencer
Nowadays,
को,
they have started that they are launching a new product, so they call all the influencers at one place only, and then they collaborate there.
yeah, they do that, right? So there are various mediums of promoting it in a certain way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now coming to retail and consumption, fashion products are sold to consumers through various retail channels, and including brick and mortar stores, mean the physical stores, e-commerce platforms means the online stores, departmental stores, boutiques, pop-up shops. Consumers purchase fashion items based on personal style preferences, lifestyle needs, and current trends, right? Retailers play a key role in curating and presenting the fashion collections, providing personalized shopping experience and driving sales through effective merchandising and customer service. Now this is clearly understood by everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Now I was talking about you must have seen कि कोई बहुत चीजें बहुत ट्रेंड कर रहा है, जैसे कि अभी के ड्रामा के कलेक्शंस और वो सब बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेंडिंग है। लोग बहुत ज्यादा कोरियन मेकअप, कोरियन स्किन और कोरियन गारमेंट्स, ये सबको अभी बहुत ज्यादा ये ट्रेंडिंग है, ठीक है। तो क्या होता है कि कुछ दिनों के बाद ना फिर सैचुरेशन आ जाता है कि हम कुछ चीज ट्रेंडिंग है तो उसको एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, एक्सेप्ट करने के बाद धीरे धीरे क्या होता है कि फिर यू लूज आउट इंटरेस्ट ऑन इट, then what happens is it gets into the disposal stage or decline stage where you say कि no, we cannot take it more because it is too much now, right? So what happens is the fashion trends evolve and new styles emerge over a period of time, and older styles eventually fall out of favor and enter the decline phase. So जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्टार्टर्स खाने के बाद आप मेन कोर्स खाते हो, ठीक है। जब तक स्टार्टर्स नहीं आता है तब आपको भूख लगती रहती है कि कब आएगा स्टार्टर्स, कब आएगा स्टार्टर्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट। वंस यू ईट स्टार्टर्स यू फील ओके, हो गया बस, अब स्टार्टर्स नहीं, अब वी विल जंप टू मेन कोर्स। अब आपको कोई तब लाके ज्यादा भी स्टार्टर्स देगा, सो यू विल फील लाइक कि नो नो नो, वी डोंट वांट एनी मोर स्टार्टर, वी वुड लाइक टू फीड ऑन मेन कोर्स, राइट। उसके बाद फिर मेन कोर्स के बाद यू विल फील लाइक हैविंग सम डेजर्ट्स, राइट। सो दैट्स द सीक्वेंस। सो एक प्रोडक्ट का भी ना जब लॉन्च होता है तब लोग उसको बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। उसके बाद क्या होता है, वो धीरे 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 फिर हम एक दूसरे प्रोडक्ट की तरफ हमारा नजर घूम जाता है। फिर ये प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है, अपने डिक्लाइन और ऑब्सोलीट स्टेज में घुसता है, जहां पे कि लोग उसको और एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, वो डिस्कार्ड हो जाता है, ठीक है। उसको फिर हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्लो फैशन, इन टर्म्स ऑफ सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी, हम उसको क्या करते हैं, या तो उसको रिसाइकिल करते हैं, उसको रीपर्पज करते हैं, या कुछ करते हैं सो दैट इट बिकम्स मोर सस्टेनेबल। बट मेजरली जो चीजें सस्टेनेबल नहीं है, जो जैसे कि मैनमेड फाइबर से बना है या फिर कुछ दूसरा मटेरियल से बना है, पॉलीअमाइड और समथिंग, तो वो प्रोडक्ट तो रिसाइकल भी नहीं हो सकता, वो लैंडफिल में भी जाके गिरेगा तो फिर वो डिकम्पोज नहीं होगा, इट इज नॉट बायोडिग्रेडेबल। तो एनी विच वे इज दैट फैब्रिक विल इवेंचुअली पोज अ थ्रेट टू द एनवायरमेंट। तो फिर क्या होता है कि इट इवेंचुअली यू फाइंड इट a lot more problematic to deal with such kind of fabric wastage or the overconsumption pattern of the cycle of the fashion cycle, right। तो फिर क्या होता है कि जो प्रोडक्ट जो खराब होने लगता है, और they do not use, not exactly खराब, but the product which becomes repetitive over a time, और या फिर वो बहुत दिनों से you don't feel like indulging in that product, you feel like कि इसको फेंक दो, अब इसे और ये नहीं चाहिए, ठीक है। तो वही होता है, दैट्स द स्टेज ऑफ डिक्लाइन एंड डिस्पोजल स्टेज, ओके। Overall, fashion cycle is a dynamic and cyclical process that reflects ever-changing nature of fashion. Like I told you, कि fashion is very very oscillatory in nature. वो आया, उसके बाद एक जगह पे बहुत पीक में चला गया, फिर अपने स्टेज में वापस आ जाता है। So which gives an impression that कि ये जहां से स्टार्ट हुआ था, ये वहीं फिर से घूम फिर के आ गया। आप लोग अभी भी देख रहे होंगे कि आपकी दादी माँ का ज्वेलरी, ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, now people are not changing that jewelry, they are keeping it as an heritage piece. Why are they? Because that design will never fade out. वो तब हमें लगता था कि हाँ यार ये डिजाइन बहुत पुराना हो गया है ये, बट इफ यू सी नाउ पीपल आर वेरी स्मार्ट, दे नो कि ये डिजाइन फिर से रिपीट होएगा, आज नहीं तो कल, 10 साल बाद ये तो फिर से आना है। सो फैशन इज वेरी वेरी ऑसिलेटरी इन नेचर, राइट, इट इज वेरी वेरी ऑसिलेटरी। द वन विच हैज गॉन, फॉर एग्जाम्पल बॉबी प्रिंस, राइट, ये आया, बहुत चला, राइट, फिर चला गया। अब भी आता है बॉबी प्रिंस, लेकिन कुछ टाइम के लिए आएगा, बट इन अ मच मोर वेरिएटेड वे, नॉट एज द सिमिलर पुराने टाइम में जैसा था वैसा नहीं, ठीक है। उसको थोड़ा सा वेरिएशन करके, कुछ तो स्टाइल स्टेटमेंट पैटर्न्स में, या तो उसका प्लेसमेंट, सब कुछ चेंज वेंज करके उसको जब लेके आते हैं, देन पीपल स्टार्ट अगेन एक्सेप्टिंग द प्रोडक्ट, राइट। सो दैट्स हाउ फैशन रॉक एंड रोल, कि वो आज है कल चेंज हो जाएगा, फिर कहीं और होगा। So it's like that. So it's a very generic process of how the fashion cycle turns into. आज है कल चेंज होगा, फिर से वही आएगा, but in a different way, in a different manner, right? So that's how it operates. Everyone understood about the fashion cycle?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any doubts, guys?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Now coming to PLC. Okay. Now जैसे कि मैं बोल रही थी कि प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल, ठीक है, तो PLC stands for product life cycle, okay, wherein you have your introduction phase. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is a product life cycle. Now you could clearly see there's an introduction stage, right, जब ये product launch हुआ, ठीक है, now here the horizontal lines talk about so there are, so it's in a Cartesian system. Okay, the horizontal lines talks about the time, and the vertical axis talks about the sales. ठीक है, with the expansion of the time, sales कैसे कैसे बढ़ता है you will see, and कहाँ पे sell dip हो रहा है that also you will see. In the introduction stage where the product is just newly launched, that means कि बहुत कम टाइम हुआ है प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च किए हुए, लेट्स से कि ये इतने टाइम तक लॉन्च हुआ, ठीक है, तो ये धीरे धीरे मार्केट अभी कैप्चर कर रहा है, सो इट इज इन द इंट्रोडक्शन फेज. तो इससे क्या हुआ, जो जो थोड़ा थोड़ा मार्केट को ये इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है उसमें सेल हुआ है, राइट. सो इट इज इन द इंट्रोडक्टरी फेज, राइट. फिर ये प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है, यहां से ग्रोथ स्टेज में जाता है, ये ग्रोथ की तरफ जाता है, मतलब ये धीरे धीरे लोगों के बीच में ये एक्सेप्टेंस शुरू होता है, right? People start accepting the product, people start engaging with the product, right? So people feel like ki buying and experimenting and all of that, right? So ये growth stage है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट को बहुत अच्छे से लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं. उसके बाद ये यहाँ पहुंचता है, जब ये मास में एकदम वाइड स्प्रेड हो जाता है, ठीक है, फिर ये प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है, यहाँ पहुंचता है इन द मैच्योरिटी पीक. ये है पीक पॉइंट, just the topmost point in the yellow curve. This, can you see the cursor moving? Guys, can you see the cursor moving?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes.
sorry, maybe. अच्छा, so you can analyze, you can visualize it. ये येलो वाले कर्व में जो सबसे टॉप मोस्ट पीक पॉइंट पे है, जो सबसे टॉप पॉइंट है, दैट इज द पीक, ठीक है. तो पीक पॉइंट में क्या होता है कि वहां पे सैचुरेशन आ जाता है, कि ये प्रोडक्ट बहुत अच्छे से चला, एक पीक पॉइंट पे आ गया, और फिर वहां से धीरे 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 प्रोडक्ट डिक्लाइन होने लगता है, राइट. यहां से
Yes, ma'am.
प्रोडक्ट डिक्लाइन होने लगता है. तो डिक्लाइन होते टाइम यू सी द रेड पॉइंट वेर इट स्टार्ट्स, राइट. तो लोगों को क्या करते हैं ना मार्केटियर्स, जहां से ये रेड लाइन स्टार्ट हो रहा है डिक्लाइन पार्ट, ठीक है, ये जब से स्टार्ट होता है, तो ब्रांड्स क्या करती हैं टू नॉट मिस आउट ऑन द कस्टमर्स, ताकि कस्टमर्स हमसे वो उनका अटेंशन इधर उधर ना हो, तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, फिर से एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कर देते हैं, ठीक है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आईफोन, ठीक है, आईफोन में क्या है, आईफोन प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करता है, उसके फीचर्स ये वो बढ़ा देता है, ठीक है. उसके बाद ये प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करता है, फिर मार्केट में हाइप क्रिएट हो जाता है कि लोग सब आईफोन आईफोन खरीद रहे हैं, तो फिर लोग एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के बाद सैचुरेट हो जाते हैं उस मॉडल में, ठीक है. उसके बाद फिर वो क्या करता है, एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करता है, जैसे आईफोन 12 लॉन्च किया, आईफोन 13 लॉन्च कर दिया, फिर 13 के बाद 14 लॉन्च कर दिया. तो 13 का जहां से सैचुरेशन आने लगा, डिक्लाइन स्टेज में आने लगा, उस वहीं पे ही वो 14 लॉन्च कर दिया, तो लोगों का अटेंशन 14 की तरफ चला गया, ना कि और 13 पे रहा, राइट. तो लोग अभी 14th जनरेशन वाला 14th आईफोन 14 खरीदने लगे, राइट. और उसके दो तीन वेरिएंट्स भी उसने बना. तो दैट्स द थिंग, दे डाइवर्सिफाई द प्रोडक्ट, दे ऑलवेज वांट योर अटेंशन in the market. So which is why what they do is they diversify the product, they change some features in the product and then they relaunch the product, ठीक है. तो हम लोगों को पता नहीं चलता, बट ये साइकोलॉजिकली हमारे साथ वैसे प्ले करते हैं. So they diversify the product, okay, and they relaunch it in the market in a different way, in a different marketing strategy, and it gains again. ये फिर ये जो नया प्रोडक्ट जो स्टार्ट हुआ, जहां पे लिखा है प्रोडक्ट एक्सटेंशन, it gives rise to another one PLC. इसकी ये जो नया प्रोडक्ट है, इसका भी अगेन यहाँ से एक नया प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल स्टार्ट हुआ होगा, करेक्ट.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood it? Please tell me, this is very important.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. नाउ इन फैशन ये ट्रेंड साइकिल्स कैसे काम करते हैं, फैशन में भी तो प्रोडक्ट्स बनते हैं, तो फैशन ट्रेंड प्रोडक्ट्स में ये कैसे उसको काम करता है. नाउ ओके, फैशन में क्या है कि टाइम है, सेल्स वॉल्यूम है, देखना हर एक कर्व में वैसा है, टाइम है, सेल्स वॉल्यूम है, सब कुछ है. Now there are three cycles: fad, standard and classic. Okay, what is fad? Fad is something जो कि बहुत कम टाइम में एकदम पॉपुलैरिटी में जाता है और फटाक से डिक्लाइन भी हो जाता है, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, for example, let's say neon colors. Okay, let's say neon colors. Neon colors क्या हुआ, वो आया, लोग बहुत ज्यादा अट्रैक्ट हुए, एक्सपेरिमेंट किए, ठीक है, उसके बाद फिर वो चला गया मार्केट से. अब तब देख रहे थे कि हर एक प्रोडक्ट में नियॉन कलर्स का यूज हुआ है, स्कार्फ्स में, स्टोल्स में, बैग्स में, शूज में, हेयर बैंड्स में, चश्मे में नियॉन कलर्स यूज होता था. तब वो बहुत हाइप था, ठीक है. सो दैट इज अ फैड. So what is a fad? Fad is something, it's a fashion which is very short lived, which comes for a very short period of time. That is called fad fashion. Okay, FAD, fad fashion. So fad fashion, the meaning stands like this: the fashion which comes, or the trends which comes for a very short period of time, is known as fad fashion. Okay. Now what is a standard cycle? What is standard fashion? It's something like ये collection जैसे हम लोग launch करते हैं. For example, season 6 महीने तक चलता है, उसके बाद वो हट जाता है. So it is there for a period of 6 months or 8 months, right? That is स्टैंडर्ड साइकिल, कि वो धीरे धीरे इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ, फिर धीरे धीरे लोग एक्सेप्ट करने लगे, फिर पॉपुलैरिटी में जाता है, धीरे 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 डिक्लाइन होता है. बट क्लासिक इज समथिंग, राइट? क्लासिक इज समथिंग विच इज एवरग्रीन, एवरग्रीन, राइट? यू नो, कुछ कुछ होता है, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल साड़ी. ओके, इट इज अ वेरी वेरी क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल ऑफ फैशन, राइट? साड़ी इज समथिंग विच कैन बी, विच इज लाइक, वो आज के डेट में भी एक फैशन स्टेटमेंट है. सोचो, इंसान ये जो जब से हिस्ट्री स्टार्ट हुआ है तब से इंसान साड़ी पहन रहा है, ठीक है, बट इट इज स्टिल देयर एज अ, you know, as a very significant element of fashion. It makes you look very very good, glamorous, you know, very very pious, very beautiful, right? Likewise, अब मेंस का देख लो. मेंस फैशन में you would see they have their classic, you know, turtlenecks. They have their classic, you know, blazers. For example, they have their classic tuxedos. आज के डेट में भी टक्सीडोज का इम्पोर्टेंस बहुत ज्यादा है. पीपल वेयर इट इन द वेडिंग्स. So tux is a very sophisticated, you know, style statement which people wear in their weddings, right? मेंस फैशन में वैसे ही मेंस वेयर शर्ट है, पैंट है, ट्राउजर्स है, उसका लेंथ भले ही छोटा बड़ा थोड़ा बहुत वेरिएशंस तो होगा ही, बट द स्टाइल, द 90% ऑफ द स्टाइल्स आर इंटैक्ट. उसमें वेरिएशंस नहीं होता. इट इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी वेरी क्लासिक, वेरी वेरी क्लासिक, ठीक है. सो इट इज दैट. You understood about the different kinds of trend cycles?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now jumping to the next slide. Let's talk about the fashion seasons. Okay. Now in fashion, okay, we have 2 seasons. Okay, we have 2 seasons. What are the seasons? Spring, summer, and autumn, winter. These are the 2 seasons, predominant seasons जहाँ जिसके basis पे collections बनते हैं, ठीक है? Spring, summer, and autumn, winter. Apart from that, we have pre-fall, okay, and fall. Okay, we have pre-fall and fall. But majority of the fashion designers or buying houses or export houses, or you know, if you call those runways, or you know, you'll find n number of people who are working on different collections. They will follow these 2 seasons: spring, summer, or autumn, winter. Now in any collection you would see Balenciaga SS24, which means spring summer 24 collection for Balenciaga, right? You would see Iris Van Herpen FW 25, which means fall winter 25, right? So that's how you understand the season कि किस season के लिए ये launch हुआ है, right? Now, spring, summer, and autumn, winter have been the most common seasons in fashion for years. Clothing brands almost always offer collections for these periods. These are called primary seasons and main collections for the season. These two are the actual primary seasons for the collection. Now, in spring, summer, you would always see the brands will launch something which is very very airy, which is breathable, which has a lot of colors. Okay, they will use cotton, linen, these kind of material, which is moisture wicking, which has the property of moisture wicking, which is very lightweight, which is not heavy when you wear it, right? So you have these kind of feeling. When you think of summer, you would want something which is very light on you, because summer में धूप होती है, गर्मी होती है, you sweat a lot, right? You would want something जिससे कि आपको it would keep you cool in the summer. तो cotton is the best suited material, जिससे कि summer में we predominantly see the brands launch collections with summer lean, with cotton, linen, flax, these kind of materials. They do not really entertain material which will make you feel warm, right? So viscose, rayon, regenerated cellulosic fiber, they use such fibers, materials for the season. Now, coming to autumn winter. Okay, autumn winter mein you will majorly see about layering clothes. ये winter है तो you would feel, winters में लोग बहुत अच्छे से ड्रेस करते हैं, because you get and you because layering is itself a fashion. It's a very bold style statement of layering your clothes. How do you layer your clothes? With a turtleneck you might put a jacket, and you wear pants, you wear those big boots, right, with scarves, stoles, with a with a your headgear. So you have a lot of option in winter to wear, right? And winter में क्या है कि you feel like wearing something which will keep you warm, right? So जो material वो use करते हैं, it is usually of a thicker GSM, right? Which makes you feel a little warmer, right? And the major difference that you would see in the color palette is spring summer में बहुत ज्यादा वो लोग bright fresh colors use करते हैं, and in winters you would see they will use something which is on a darker note, right? Which is on a darker note, which has जहाँ पे कि they will fleece वो use करते हैं, wool use करते हैं, blend of silk and fleece. So you will find n number of you know material in terms of when it comes to winter, right? Which will something which will keep you warm. You can wear synthetic material fabrics in winter but not in summer, because winter में क्या है कि वैसा material आप पहन के उसको आप adjust कर सकते हो, but in summer you cannot really think of wearing something which is not comfortable in your with your skin, right? You would want something which is which is very light on you, and which is something which is very dressy, right? Which is very dressy. So these are the two seasons. Okay, you can clearly see the difference, right? You have your jackets lying in the winter, and very summery deep neckline, and very openy, or something which is very short and which is very open, right? Those kind of dresses in summer. You see the tropical prints here. So it gives you a very fresh vibe, right? You understood up till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to design. So you understood, no, what is to be done and how it is done, like how the fashion season regulates and how we develop new collections, what season we consider, and how trend forecasting play a very very important role. So everyone is clear with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just if you now that you have understood, the seasons, the forecast, and everything, I would want you guys to check the collection for spring summer 25, which will be upcoming, jo ki, you can take any brand, just do a little bit of Stella McCartney, any brand you take, and just try to understand their collections which are upcoming in the 2025 season, right? So I'm giving you 15 minutes. Everyone has to take a brand, okay, and everyone has to understand that how that brand is going to, in which way, what are the elements that the brand has taken or considered to launch their new collections. What are the elements, what colors, what styles, okay, what have they taken for spring summer 2025, okay? Everyone understood the assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you do that thing. You take a brand, okay, I'm giving you 15 minutes. You take a brand, you understand how the brand is going to launch a new collection for spring summer 2025. You will find the images in the internet, right? Try to understand and take down notes कि वो किस तरीके का कलर यूज कर रहा है, किस तरीके का प्रिंट्स यूज कर रहा है, किस तरीके का मटेरियल यूज किया है, right?
Okay,
So
ma'am.
try to understand and gain insights from the brands. Okay, you understand the brand. Okay, and then let me know. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's get back. So, did you complete the assignment? Did you, were you able to find out the key elements for different brands? We can start with Neha. Neha Sharma. Neha, are you there? Neha? Okay. Amit? Sharmishta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Amit? Yeah. Okay, Sharmishta. If you could just tell me that, what brand have you taken and how have you done your research? If you could just tell me.
I could not find a particular brand per se, but I found one website in which they have talked about the trend for the summer spring 25.
No, you could have taken any brand. So, what brand sent you first?
I searched for brands like Chanel or Dior. I was checking for it, but they have not yet posted for it. All I could see it was for 2024 autumn winter. So
Hmm.
I did not find, maybe it is not there yet, but there's one website I checked, and there's actually two websites that I checked for the summer spring 2025, and both of
Hmm.
those websites talks about the same things, that how nostalgic prints or nostalgic fashion people want to get indulged in, how the history,
Hmm.
they want the historical designs to be incorporated in the upcoming trends, and how they want to play with science and nature together
Hmm.
if they want to
Hmm.
design in spring summer 2025. And AI is being talked about as it is taking a large step in various areas of globalization. So AI is
Hmm.
being talked about in fashion as well, how you can use AI and art, and how you can fuse both these elements in designs and trends upcoming. And the colors that
Yes.
I found are turquoise and coffee brown for the summer spring 2025.
Hmm. Okay. So, what are those two websites?
First is Tiffany co.uk, and the second one is that you showed in the first slide, WSGN.
WGSN.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
But Tiffany is a brand which works with jewelry, specifically solitaires, right? So
Right.
Tiffany का patent color ही वो turquoise color है, which is why you will see majority of the thing in turquoise only. So that's which is why I said कि turquoise color जो है Tiffany का वो patent है, right? So
Okay.
इसीलिए वो turquoise है, but that's not the color for summer, राइट?
Okay.
टिफनी में जो है इट्स क्योंकि उनका पेटेंट कलर वही है और अलग कलर्स वो कुछ यूज कर रहे होंगे बट इट्स अ ब्रांड इट्स अ वेरी नोन ब्रांड फॉर ज्वेलरी राइट फॉर
Yes. Yeah.
ज्वेलरी ओनली yeah so try for searching apparel brands okay you can
Okay.
find it in business of fashion and you will find n number of articles around it right which
Okay,
are
ma'am.
the upcoming trends for fashion spring summer 25 and yes Amit if you could just tell me Amit
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
yeah
Uh, I do also search in Google, ma'am, but most of the time it's showing aut- autumn and summer is 25. But what I see in the videos, basically, according to the style, they are promoting like style, like long flowy dresses, strappy sleeveless dress, and few of the dresses are cropped and
You
asymmetric.
did research for spring summer?
First,
Hello?
like the Gucci or SS25 fashion style in Gucci, like what I the it shows like SW 25 SW 25 it's showing
No, no, spring summer 25, right?
spring summer
हाँ, तो
20.
क्या देखा आपने? What did you find?
But the particular name I put na the Gucci brand, but it's not showing the related Gucci. But some of the picture is coming like SS25. The color are mostly like a pink. The neon color also showing
Hmm.
like abstract pastel print colors. Those are the showing basically.
Okay, so you couldn't find something which is particular.
Yes, ma'am. Particular brand basically promoting that I couldn't
नहीं
find.
बट हाँ आई वुड सजेस्ट प्लीज टेक अ नोट ऑफ इट दैट कि आप ब्रांड्स को स्टडी उन वो क्या बोल रहे हैं उस हिसाब से आपको स्टडी नहीं करना. You have to understand by your own knowledge. Okay, what prints are they doing are working, what elements have they जैसे कि आपको ये समझ में आया कि long gowns and strappy dresses are there in for summer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
तो वैसे ही आपको खुद से अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा कि ये क्या क्या है, क्या अपकमिंग है, क्या कलेक्शन है. उनके कलेक्शन को देख के ही आपको समझ में आएगा. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल, if I show you Stella McCartney's McCartney. Okay, I'll just show you. Okay, so if you see, this is Stella McCartney 2024 collection spring. Okay, now you would see that the collection is mostly around black. Okay, now you might have a question that why have they used black. Okay, so if we talk about it, now you will find. Okay, to continue reading, just a second. Okay, now you see the collection. Okay, it's majorly towards the darker tones,
Yes, yes.
right? But at the
The
same time, it has beige, it has white, it has off white, it has it has olive, right? Shades of olive, prints, floral, right?
yes, yes.
But
And
it, yeah,
they are oversized also, ma'am.
sorry.
The oversized, like the
Yes,
blazer.
oversized blazers. Okay, deep necklines. Okay,
Yes,
see the plunge neckline. Because this is a western brand, so उनके climatic conditions के हिसाब से, उनके mood, taste और preferences के हिसाब से ये design किया हुआ है, right? You could see lot of pants, wide legged pants and long trousers, right?
yes,
Which covers the ankle, right? Which covers your shoes as well, right? You would see majority सारे pants जो हैं वो बहुत लंबे हैं, right? See, polka dots has again came into trend, right? And polka dots का representation भी देखो किस तरीके से हुआ है. This is a chiffly embroidery dress work, right?
Yeah.
But it gives an impression of polka thing. Now you can see the experimentation done with denims as well. If I
Yes,
zoom
ma'am.
in, you can see the experimentation that has been done with denims, which gives an impression of polka thing, right?
Yes, yes.
See, polkas. Lightweight fabrics, summery fabrics, very lightweight. See, see through materials,
Yes.
you know, mauve, beige, very lighter pastel tones.
Cartoon, yes.
Yes, very
Real.
pastel shades. Yes, you see a very common thing that the pants are oversized, right?
Yes, ma'am. Oversized wide leg and
Yes, oversized, wide leg, oversized jackets, trousers, deep plunge neckline. Okay, so you can understand. So that's what I was asking you guys to do. Like अब एक ब्रांड के बारे में देखो, ब्रांड को समझने की कोशिश करो कि वो किस तरीके का गारमेंट बनाना है. This is a ready to wear collection. This is a ready to wear
Yes,
collection.
ma'am.
You understand the meaning of ready to wear?
Yes, ma'am.
तो यू कैन रीड कि क्यों उसने ये कलेक्शन बनाया, क्यों है, ठीक है. क्या उसके उसका वो थॉट प्रोसेस है, व्हाई हैज शी मेड दिस काइंड ऑफ अ कलेक्शन, so you can understand from the styles that people work with, right?
yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So any doubts you have up till now?
No, ma'am.
You do not have any doubts? You have understood whatever is taught to you today? Yes, Tanu?
Ma'am, give us some time and give us some assignment for tomorrow so that we can understand it better.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. No, you can work with the assignment which has been previously, like I just assigned it to you. You can take 2 to 3 brands to understand it in a better way. Understand the necklines that they are focusing. Understand the silhouette of the garment. Understand the colors that they are playing with. Understand the elements that they are focusing. The embroideries, the patterns, the layering. So you can fetch out the elements which are there for the brands, right? How the brands are working with it. So take 2 to 3 brands and understand how brands are working differently, but they will have a similar base. That I'll make you understand tomorrow, how they are working on a similar base, right? But the looks and the outcomes are different, because they have to align the collections as per the brand's vision, mission, brand ethos, brand aesthetics, brand imagery. So it has to be around the brand also, but at the same time catering to the mass, and at the same time bringing something very new into the plate, right? So take 2 3 brands and accordingly you please work on it, so that you get a clear understanding of how brands are customizing the forecast or customizing the trends as per their brand aesthetics, right? How are they customizing, what are the elements that they are playing with. So this will help you to show some light or to put some light on the understanding how the brands play with different aspects of fashion, right?
Yes, ma'am. And we can
Okay.
take spring summer
Yeah, yeah,
24, right?
yeah, you can take spring summer 24, because you will find a lot of brands material. So you can take spring summer 24.
Okay,
ठीक
ma'am.
है?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So please do this, okay? And I will tell you how brand launches their collection in the next class, okay? How designers work, what are the process that a designer follows to create a collection, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Up till now there is no doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay. So then see you in the next class tomorrow then.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.